I'm getting like a lot of endearing people that want me dead recently.
Aw.
And one of them is this guy right next to this place where I got a smoothie bowl this weekend. And he's sitting there on the bench, and I kind of walk by. He's staring at me, and I can feel him staring at me because he's making it he's like got his neck out, kind of. And I was like, did my white person like kind of smirk and nod?
Mm-hmm.
It's what you do in grocery stores when you're in the same aisle as somebody.
Yeah.
And I did that to him, and he goes, I could kill you if I wanted to. And it was weird because I was having a thought about like, wow, it is a gorgeous day. I'm so lucky to be out here. I'm like, I'm thankful to be here. And then he goes, I could kill you if I wanted to. I'm like, well, thank God you don't want to today. Because like, I was just thinking how awesome the day is. So I was actually kind of thankful he said it because I took a step back and I go, huh, I'm so thankful that you don't want to kill me today because I know that you could kill me if you wanted to. Like I said,
that is crazy that to think like someone could kill you if they wanted to.
And he
at any point.
He kind of put things in perspective. I was like, you could if you wanted to. Then thank you for making that not today. Yeah. So I kind of had my acai bowl, and I kind of had a new lease on life after he said that he could kill me in cold blood with his bare hands. You know, so it was kind of it was a good way to go into the rest of my Saturday. Just with a new perspective.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a direct threat on your life in broad daylight to make you
totally
take a
Well, I'm
deep
happy
breath.
you're here and
I feel
alive
good about
to tell
being
the tale.
here.
Speaking of being alive,
I
want to tell you about my doctor's appointment.
Yeah. You went to the doctor.
Well, yeah. Well, this is kind of like it's been a long time coming because I think it was like 2 months ago at this point. I think I talked about it on here, but like really, really convinced myself that I was like terminal, like dying because I had a bump in my armpit. And I was like, that's the telltale sign of death. And it went away.
Yeah.
But even though it went away, like I like still like had this like I'm like life is like slipping through my fingers, and I was really like depressed and upset, which is awesome, by the way, because I didn't know that like I had that much of a will to live. So I'm very excited to know that like I care about my life in that capacity. Great. So that's an exciting thing to learn about yourself. But I was just like really like depressed. And like to my therapist, I was like, I'm dying. I feel like I'm sick, like something's wrong. Like I'm tired. Like I have no energy. And she's like, okay, like you're depressed. You're not dying. And I was like, no, like I really, really am dying. And I was like, so like the past 2 months, I've just been like so low energy and depressed because I've convinced myself I was dying. So I went to the doctor. Finally, after making the appointment with the initial armpit bump, they said, we can get you in February. And I said, I'll probably be dead by then. Is there anything you can do for me earlier? So they were able to get me in 2 months from then. So finally, that was last week. Went, got my blood drawn. Turns out, nothing life-threatening.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to die.
Good.
Which is amazing. And immediately a switch like flipped. It turns out it was all in my head.
Yeah.
Like I feel completely fine now. Whereas this time last week, I would have eyes were closing, exhausted, feeling sickly. And now I feel like I could run the New York City Marathon. That is so scary how much control your brain has.
Oh, everything's mental.
It just like goes back to the placebo.
It goes back to placebo. You could have a positive placebo.
So scary.
You have a negative placebo.
Like that is truly like I'm scared of how much power my brain has.
Yeah.
But anyway, when I was getting my blood taken, 50-50 chance if I'm going to pass out when that happens. And TW, if you're squeamish with blood, I'm going to tell you about getting my blood taken.
There's a T at Dubs. Blood.
The doctor was like, do you faint? And I was like, yeah, sometimes. So she laid me down, and you know how, I don't know if you faint at all, but you know how doctors, they try to distract you by talking to you, like while they're inserting the needle and drilling.
And they've met their match because you were like, I have a podcast. I know what you're doing.
No, I know what they're doing, and they're most of the time
that's like when they're trying to give a baby a shot.
Yeah.
And they,
yeah. It's the same kind of thing. So she like pulls my arm up, pulls my sleeve up, and I have this, I have my tattoo, and she goes, oh, you have a tattoo. That's lovely. She's trying to stick the needle. I'm like, not wanting to talk at all. I just would rather do this in complete silence on my own through deep breathing techniques. She goes, wow, my sister-in-law has a tattoo on her back, but it got infected, and then it kind of scabbed over, and then after the scabbing, it was like pussing a little. I'm like, are you absolutely kidding me right now? Sticking this needle in this part of my arm, the armpit, that's what's so sensitive to me. It's like thin. Like that's what's going to make me nauseous. And then she goes, oh shoot, you're vein rolled. The second she said vein rolled, I'm unconscious.
You passed out?
Immediately. Like I was laying down, so I didn't faint, but like out of consciousness completely upon vein rolling after she was telling me about the pus and the scabbing of her sister-in-law's tattoo on her back. So she was able to get me apple juice just in time for trying again on this arm, which did not have a tattoo. And I said, I think I just would rather do some silent deep breathing for this one. And then I was able to pull through. And then now my blood results, I love looking at those. Like I would do a whole podcast just like reading you my blood results. I'm sure you wouldn't be super interested, but like how cool is that they can like measure?
I've never done it. So.
You've never gotten your blood drawn?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God. It's so cool to like see your cholesterol and like all those other things that happen in your body. Your
Mine
glucose
would come back
level.
And they'd be like, you're an empath. I think that kind of thing would like change my perspective too.
You know what's crazy?
Mm.
Having high cholesterol as a 26-year-old woman.
I think it's pretty easy to have high cholesterol based on
Genetic.
like the foods and whatever. Yeah, genetics, but also like
genetic.
the foods that are easily
Yeah.
like just like in front of us.
Yeah. Mine's genetic. And she also said I could do 200 hours of exercise a week to lower that if I want. And I said, oh,
Is there 200 hours?
pass. Like that's an insane amount of exercise.
There isn't 200 hours in a week. Or was she exaggerating? Or were you exaggerating?
Minutes. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
But that's more than 2 hours
No, that's about 2 hours.
No, 60 plus 60.
That's about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Over the course of 7
That's insane
days.
when you think about the fact that like a good exercise routine is like I do 30 minutes like 3 or 4 times a week is what I aim for. That's not even 200 hours, minutes. Like she's being ridiculous. Sorry, that's like a triathlon person.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like, they say like you're supposed to get like 30 minutes a day. What's 30 minutes times 5?
I think the 30-minute thing was like the Michelle Obama era of like, please stand up. Just at some point.
No, because when you think about 30, 12, 30, 12, 3, 30, which is like a powerful exercise, which by the way, I've been doing that wrong.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to hold on. No wonder I could do it. I over 1 second yesterday, I almost
something to
dropped
look
dead.
forward to though.
Yeah.
Then now you can see progress.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is going to
And
be
like
cool.
the strength
Yeah.
of, is it core muscles that those work? The 330,
Core, leg.
40, 30, 20,
I call it 30-90.
30, 60, 90.
30-90 due to the hit song 30-90.
Yeah, I've heard about that a
By
couple
Andrew
times
Garfield on
today.
Tick Tick Boom soundtrack.
Uh,
But that's like if you think about doing the 30-90 4 times a
120.
week, that's not even as many minutes as the doctor told me to do, and that's great. That's a great workout.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I'm
whatever you're
yeah,
whatever
that's just,
you're
I'm just saying
stoked up-
that's ridiculous to recommend 200 minutes for my cholesterol. By the way, if anyone has high cholesterol, I would recommend you not do 200 minutes of working out.
Don't go to her doctor.
No.
Um,
Just like, don't tell me what I don't want to hear. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to.
yeah.
Like, I'm paying you in Blue Cross Blue Shield California to tell me what I want to hear, and that wasn't it. You know? You have nothing to say.
No, I can't.
You think I should work out 200 minutes a week?
No, I'm just not going to argue with a doctor. Like, I don't want to give you. I'm not in a place to give anyone advice.
That is actually insane that I come out of the doctor and she didn't know what she was talking about because she's telling me what I don't want to hear. That's like an insane personality trait that I have. And I don't want to fix it.
Okay.